Ever wondered what happens when a flagpole becomes the spark for an all-out neighborhood showdown? In this tale, Jack Matthews is handed a $4,200 violation notice from HOA President Rachel Carter, who insists his grandfather's century-old flagpole is an eyesore. Refusing to back down, Jack dives into zoning statutes at the library, leans on a reluctant neighbor, Tony, and teams up with Clara, a sharp-witted attorney. Late nights in the attic unearth the original state permit that could clinch victory. A carefully laid trap at an HOA meeting exposes Rachel's overreach, and a courtroom clash tests the power of legacy over petty rules. Brace yourself for power plays, secret recordings, and a community awakening. So if you like stories like this, like and subscribe for more. I slammed the latest letter onto the kitchen counter, glaring at Rachel Carter as she stood there, clipboard in hand. 30 years. That's how long my family's flagpole had stood in my front yard. It clashes with our aesthetic guidelines, she said coolly. This pole belonged to my grandfather, I snapped back. The man who served overseas in 2 wars. You're telling me his gift is unwanted now? I watched her mask any reaction behind that professional smile. The rules apply to everyone, Rachel replied, eyes fixed on the fluttering flag beyond the window. You owe a $4,200 fine. My pulse raced, but I forced calm into my voice. I own this land. I own that pole. My grandfather fought for freedoms you're ready to strip away. She didn't flinch. We'll see about that. That night I barely slept. Rachel's letter haunted me. By dawn, I found a second envelope. Your appeal has been denied. $4,200 fine still stands. My blood boiled. This wasn't just bureaucracy, it was personal. I threw on a coat and headed to the town library. Hours passed as I pored over HOA bylaws, municipal codes, and zoning ordinances. The more I read, the more I realized Rachel's reach had limits. My grandfather's flagpole had been here long before her tenure, and likely before many of these guidelines even existed. Back home, neighbors drifted by, curious whispers following me in the yard. 2 doors down, Tony lingered. Jack, maybe it's better to pay the fine and move on, he warned. People don't like trouble. I shook my head. This pole is part of my family's history. I won't kneel. Tony shrugged, uneasy. Just be careful. I made an appointment with Clara Harper, a no-nonsense lawyer known for challenging overbearing HOAs. She skimmed my documents, then looked up. They can't demand you remove a legally permitted flagpole. This fine is baseless. If you take it to court, they're on the defensive. Relief flooded me, but I knew Rachel wouldn't back down easily. I want to be ready, I said. Clara nodded. Gather every scrap, photos, permits, letters. We'll build an airtight case. While Clara prepared, I returned to the attic, digging through dusty boxes of my grandfather's keepsakes. Finally, behind old uniforms and war letters, I found a state-issued permit authorizing the flagpole's installation. My pulse thundered. This was the evidence we needed. That evening, I called Clara. I found his permit, signed by the state decades ago. Her voice crackled with excitement. That's the linchpin. We can demand summary judgment. The next day, I ran into Lena on the sidewalk, her dog prancing at her side. She'd been quiet about the conflict until now. I used to handle property cases, she confessed. Rachel's tactics are harassment. You need to watch your step, but you're right to fight. Together, we hatched a plan to record Rachel admitting she had overstepped. We'd bait her at the monthly HOA meeting. A week later, I sat at the back of the community center as Rachel droned on about maintaining neighborhood integrity. After the official business, the room thinned. I approached her casually. Rachel, maybe we can settle this without court, I suggested, feigning deference. She didn't hesitate. Rules are rules. You'll remove that eyesore or face further action. Her words carried disdain, exactly what I needed. Quietly, I recorded the exchange on my phone before slipping away. Armed with the original permit, zoning statutes, and Rachel's own admission of inflexibility, Clara filed our motion. In court, she dismantled the HOA's claims. No safety hazards, no expired permits, only Rachel's subjective objections. When it was my turn, I spoke from the heart. This flagpole stands for my grandfather's sacrifice and every right he fought to protect. We're not defying the community, we're preserving our family's legacy. Rachel's attorney sputtered, then stumbled through vague aesthetic arguments. The judge, after reviewing decades-old records and our evidence, ruled, the fine is rescinded, the flagpole remains. I exhaled, disbelief mingling with triumph. Rachel stormed out, vowing revenge, but the courtroom air crackled with my victory. Back in the neighborhood, the mood shifted. A slip of Rachel's authority inspired neighbors to speak up. At the next HOA session, she demanded a vote on reasserting her rules. Tired of her dominance, faces once downcast now met her glare. I stood and called out, "This isn't just about rules, it's about control, and we're done being bullied." One by one, residents voiced support, reclaiming their right to live freely. Rachel's power drained away as she stormed from the room in fury. In the days that followed, neighbors greeted me with the nods and waves. Tony apologized and promised to stand firm next time. Lena, newly emboldened, joined me in talking to others about their rights. Clara wrapped up the final paperwork, closing the HOA's case once and for all. Now, every morning, I watch the flag ripple in the breeze. It's more than cloth on a pole. It's resilience, honor, and the courage to defend what matters. Our community learned that unity outweighs fear and that a single stand for justice can spark change. If you'd like more stories like these, please like and subscribe.